following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
This episode of the Replay Sports Channel is being brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Royal Retros is something for you. Every product tells a unique story, and you can be sure that you will stand out from the crowd with something different. Head on over to Royal Retros today and use the discount code REPLAY to get 10% off your purchase. The link is provided in the show's description. Good evening and welcome to Replay Sports Channel's Saturday Night Football. I'm your host, Glenn Walker. Back when the schedule makers selected this game for Saturday night primetime, they envisioned a showdown between two franchise quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes for Pittsburgh and Dak Prescott from Los Angeles. What nobody expected was that we'd arrive in Week 15 with both of the teams sitting at 2-10. Yet make no mistake about it, this game matters, maybe more than anyone imagined. Because tonight's loser could take a giant step towards securing the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft, where two names are already dominating the talk from coast to coast: Miami quarterback Cam Ward and Colorado superstar Travis Hunt. It's the Pittsburgh Maulers and the Los Angeles Wildcats. Saturday Night Football starts now. Kickoff still moments away from Hyperion Park in Hollywood, California, but I would like to take this time to announce the members of the 2025 WFL We're going to announce the members of the 2025 All-Star Team. These are the players that, using the DK Sports computer program, players that have performed consistently throughout the season. Here we go. First, we'll take a look at the quarterbacks. For the American Conference, Baker Mayfield from Chicago, Justin Herbert from the New Jersey Hitmen, and Tua Tagovailoa from St. Louis. Baker Mayfield make his first All-Star appearance. He has a 105.1 quarterback rating and a 71.8 completion percentage. Over in the National Conference, Jalen Hurts from Las Vegas making his second All-Star appearance. Josh Allen from San Diego also making his second appearance. Bo Nix, potential Rookie of the Year from Birmingham, gets in as a rookie. Now we'll take a look at the running backs. Saquon Barkley, in his third All-Star roster, has 1,031 rushing yards so far and 14 touchdowns. He'll be joined in the American Conference backfield with Jahmyr Gibbs from Chicago and Chase Brown from Detroit. And then check out the National Conference backfield. Derrick Henry making his fourth All-Star appearance, 1,319 rushing yards. Bijan Robinson, 1,018 rushing yards. And Kyren Williams from San Antonio, he has 13 rushing touchdowns. And let's take a look at the wide receivers. DJ Moore, 77 receptions, 1,069 receiving yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1,004 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns. They will be joined by two rookies, Malik Neighbors from New York and Ladd McConkey from St. Louis. National Conference, Terry McLaurin making his second All-Star roster this year. He has 1,150 receiving yards. Cooper Kupp, his teammate in Tampa Bay, his second All-Star roster appearance, 72 receptions so far this year. They'll be joined by Jackson Smith-Jigba from Las Vegas and another rookie joining the fray, Brian Thomas Jr. from Memphis. Now to the tight ends. Jonnu Smith, veteran tight end from Baltimore, making his first All-Star appearance. Zach Ertz from Pittsburgh, we'll see him a little bit later in the game tonight, making his third All-Star appearance. And they'll be joined by Trey McBride of Arizona and Travis Kelce. His fifth straight All-Star roster. He's been on 8 of them, and believe it or not, that's not the most in WFL history. Stay tuned. In a moment, I'll tell you who has been in the most All-Star rosters. We'll take a look at the big men up front, the offensive linemen. Frazier from New York, Tyler Biadasz from Detroit, Chris Lindstrom from New Jersey, Mekhi Becton from Pittsburgh, Kevin Dotson from Baltimore, from Detroit, Penei Sewell, Jordan Mailata from St. Louis, and Dion Dawkins. Mailata and Sewell making their third and second appearances respectively. And now over to the National Conference. Creed Humphrey in his second All-Star roster, Cam Jurgens from Denver, Quinn Miners from San Diego, Landon Dickerson from Tampa Bay, Quentin Nelson, veteran guard from Arizona, on his fifth All-Star roster, Tristan Wirfs from Tampa Bay on his third team, Brian O'Neill from Arizona, and Terron Armstead from Atlanta making his second All-Star roster. Now we go to the other side of the ball on defense. Cam Hayward, his fifth All-Star appearance, playing for the Cleveland Gladiators this season. Nnamdi Madubuike from D.C., Grover Stewart from Detroit, Brian Breezy from Philadelphia, Jeffrey Simmons named to his second All-Star roster, Jalen Carter from Detroit, Max Crosby on his third All-Star roster representing Philadelphia, and Will McDonald from Baltimore. Taking a look at the National Conference defensive lineman, Chris Jones from San Diego on his fourth All-Star roster. Zach Allen, also his teammate from San Diego. Vita Vea from Vegas on his second All-Star team. DeForest Buckner from Birmingham on his third. A lot of veteran All-Star members on this National Conference defensive line. Myles Garrett making his sixth All-Star appearance, representing Las Vegas. Leonard Williams from Arizona in his second All-Star appearance. Trey Hendrickson and Kalijah Cansey round out the defensive linemen. Then we go to the linebackers. Fred Warner from D.C. on his fourth All-Star roster. Diane Henley from St. Louis. Bobby Wagner from Detroit on his sixth All-Star appearance. Jonathan Grenard from St. Louis, Micah Parsons. He has 8 sacks this season, representing New York. Leo Chenal, his teammate, will also be on the American Conference roster, and they'll be joined by Jonathan Cooper from Chicago. Over in the National Conference, Zach Bond from Atlanta, Roquan Smith from Tampa Bay, Levante David, San Diego, on his fourth All-Star team. Nick Benito from San Diego. He has 10 sacks, leads the league in sacks this season. TJ Watt from Arizona with his fifth All-Star appearance. Andrew Van Ginkel from Los Angeles. We're going to see him in a few moments. And Tuli Tuipulotu from Los Angeles, rounding out the linebacker core. And then taking a look at the defensive backs. Pat Surtain II from New Jersey on his second All-Star team. Christian Gonzalez from Philadelphia, Byron Murphy Jr. from St. Louis, Jamel Dean from St. Louis. A lot of St. Louis representatives here. Brian Branch, Jesse Bates, and then Derwin James Jr. from Detroit, and Kalen Bullock, another rookie, this time from the New Jersey Hitmen. Representing the National Conference, Marlon Humphrey from San Diego, Darryl Stingley from Arizona, Trent McDuffie from Las Vegas, Kyle Fulton from Los Angeles, Kirby Joseph from Las Vegas, Xavier McKinney from Memphis. He leads the league in interceptions with 7 this season. Julian Love from San Antonio, and Reed Blankenship from Birmingham. And now your special team players. Cam Little, rookie kicker from New Jersey, leads the league with 110 scoring points this season. Punter Blake Gillikin from Detroit leads the league with net average, 42.8 punting net average. Your returners, punt returners, Calvin Austin III for D.C. and Marcus Jones from Pittsburgh. Your kick returners, Emir Smith-Marset from New York and DeAndre Carter from Cleveland. And on the National Conference special team squad, Nick Folk has made 31 field goals this season, has 123 points. A.J. Cole, the punter, 43.4 average. Punt returners are Brian Codrington from Atlanta, Parker Washington from San Diego, and the kick returners, Eric Gray from Tampa Bay and Sean Tucker from San Antonio. So congratulations to all the players for making it to the All-Star team. So if we break it down by the numbers, if we look in the American Conference, St. Louis leads with 9 players named to the American Conference All-Star team. And then over in the National Conference, San Diego with 9 players in. And as I mentioned earlier, Travis Kelce, with his 8 appearances on an All-Star team, is not the most. Looking in our record book, Peyton Manning, Hall of Fame quarterback, played his time with Atlanta and ended his career with Los Angeles, was named to 11 All-Star rosters. Tied for second, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, played a lot with Oakland, ended his career in Berlin. And tight end, Hall of Famer, Tony Gonzalez. Both had 9 appearances. And then we have a big logjam of players at 8. Drew Brees made the semifinalist list for Football Hall of Fame earlier or last week. Looking to get in. He'll find out the night before, a couple nights before the Pantheon Bowl. Travis Kelce, I think, is the only active player in that list there. He has a chance next year to work his way into a 3-way tie for second place. So again, those are your All-Stars. Congratulations to all of those players. And now we have a game to play. So from Hyperion Park near Hollywood, the records may not impress you, but the storylines certainly do. 2 proud franchises, 2 superstar quarterbacks, and potentially the future direction of both directions will be hanging in the balance tonight. So let's go ahead, address the elephant in the room. Both teams are 2-10. The winner gains a huge sense of pride. The loser will gain draft position. Big discussion around the league. The top 2 players that are on everybody's mock draft boards: Miami quarterback Cam Ward, wide receiver, defensive back Travis Hunter from Colorado. Whichever front office you're in, either Pittsburgh or Los Angeles, you're not saying it publicly, but everybody understands what's at stake here. Another storyline dominating the headlines this week is Patrick Mahomes. Could these be the final 2 games of his career as a Pittsburgh Mauler? Head coach Mike Tomlin expected to be dismissed after the season. Patrick Mahomes expected to exercise a trade clause at the conclusion of the season. So we could potentially be watching the final games of Mahomes in the Mahomes era in Pittsburgh last week versus San Diego. 271-yard passing, 3 touchdowns. He was 27 of 38, but he was sacked 7 times. The roster around Mahomes just simply has not been good enough for him this season. But there is also an emerging star which Pittsburgh and whoever the new regime is that comes in next year can build around. Marvin Harrison Jr. Last week, check out these numbers. 13 receptions, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's a foundational player, and look for the new regime to build around him. Over on the other side of the ball, Dak Prescott came back from a foot injury a couple of weeks ago. He is their franchise quarterback, and last week in that loss versus Detroit, threw for 233 passing yards, 1 touchdown, did have the 1 interception. The score wasn't what they wanted, but Prescott looking better coming off that injury. The Wildcats, though, have an offensive problem. They are dead last in total offense, last in rushing offense. This has been the biggest issue all season with the Wildcats, is their inability to run the ball. To make matters worse, running back Kenneth Walker left the game with a knee injury. He is out for the rest of the season, so expect to see a lot of Kareem Hunt tonight in the backfield. Garrett Wilson is a player to highlight for Los Angeles. Last week, caught 10 passes for 125 yards, including a 50-yard touchdown catch from Dak Prescott. He is quietly becoming one of the few bright spots in this offense, and Wilson is the go-to wide receiver now since Stephon Diggs went down with a season-ending injury several weeks ago. We talked earlier about Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. We might also have another fascinating subplot centering around the future of Los Angeles head coach Jim Harbaugh. Ownership has been publicly silent. Our insiders tell us that there will be a full organizational review expected at the conclusion of the season. And as they say in Hollywood, to be continued. We'll find out what happens in 2026. As we mentioned, Los Angeles has the league's worst offense. They will be playing against the league's worst defense. Pittsburgh ranks 20th in total defense, 20th against the run. Maulers have struggled stopping anyone all season. And there's also been a ton of injuries in the defensive secondary, which led the Maulers to sign veteran free agent quarterback Marshawn Lattimore earlier this week, hoping that he will provide much-needed help and leadership. On average, Pittsburgh's giving up an average of over 400 yards per game. Key matchup to watch tonight, Dak Prescott versus that Pittsburgh secondary. If Prescott gets time, the offensive line gives him time, this should be the best opportunity all season to pick up big numbers. Here are my 3 keys to the game. For Pittsburgh, they need to protect Patrick Mahomes. Can't have 7 sacks like they did last week. They need to get Harrison involved early, and on defense, they need to create pressure on Prescott. For Los Angeles, establish a running game. You can't be averaging 56.2 yards a game. Protect the quarterback, and they need to win on third down. And time for my prediction. I think Prescott's return gives Los Angeles just enough offensive stability. Mahomes will keep it close, but the Wildcats will win this one at home. Los Angeles 24, Pittsburgh 20. You're watching the WFL on Replay Sports Channel. The WFL utilizes real NFL players and the advanced simulation capabilities of DK Sports Action PC Football. The WFL strives to create a thrilling, strategic, and statistically rich football environment that balances realism with innovation. The records may say 2-10 versus 2-10, but the implications stretch far beyond tonight. There's draft position, franchise futures, coaching decisions, and perhaps the final chapters for some familiar faces. It's Patrick Mahomes and the Pittsburgh Maulers versus Dak Prescott and the Los Angeles Wildcats. Saturday Night Football coming to you next.
Welcome to Hyperion Park. Pittsburgh and Los Angeles. A battle of last place teams. The kick from Richard. Fumble. The kick from Richard is returned 10 yards by Barrios. Fumble recovered by Smith. Pittsburgh ball. First and 10 from the 12. Mahomes is back to pass. Short out pass. Mahomes completes the pass to Harrison, gain of 6, Fulton on the tackle. Second and 4 from the 6. Motion. Akane with the handoff. Akane lost 1 on the play, Turner on the tackle. Third and 5. Trips left. Mahomes in a pistol formation. Los Angeles showing blitz. Mahomes calling an audible. Movement up front. Possible free play for Mahomes. Mahomes on the draw. Mahomes lost 2 on the play. Penalty on the play.
Encroachment, defense, number 99.
Third and 1. Man in motion. The hand off to Ford. Ford the ball carrier, no gain, Lake on the tackle. "21-yard kick for Richard. Fox to hold. This will give them the lead. Shelton with the snap. Richard is good from 21, Pittsburgh 3, Los Angeles 0. Here's the kick from Richard. Fumble. The kick from Richard is returned 20 yards by Sanders, fumble recovered by Smith, Pittsburgh ball. First and 10 from the 20. Akane with the handoff. 3-yard gain by Akane. Joe, penalty on the play.
Personal foul, defense, number 13, automatic, first down.
Mahomes hands to Ford. Ford the ball carrier, touchdown Pittsburgh. Richard will try the point after. Richard converts the extra point, Pittsburgh 10, Los Angeles 0. The kick from Richard is downed by Barrios. Penalty on the play.
Encroachment, defense. Number 3, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
First and 5 from the 30. Pistol formation. Prescott calls out the signals. Drops back to pass. Short slant. Prescott completes the pass to Utton. Gain of 9. Reed on the tackle. First down. Pistol formation. Prescott fades back to pass. Short hitch. Prescott passes to Utton. Incomplete. Bryant on the coverage. Second and 10 from the 39. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott calls the signals. Prescott fades back to pass. Short sideline pass to Vele. Prescott throws incomplete to Vele. Job on the coverage. Third and 10 from the 39. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott drops back to pass. Medium cross. Prescott to Wilson. Gain of 15. Reed on the tackle. First down. First and 10 from the 46. Takes a 5-step drop. Medium crossing pattern to Slayton. Prescott to Slayton. Gain of 14. Womack with the tackle. First down. Prescott fades back to pass. Medium hitch. Prescott passes to Slayton. Incomplete. Womack on the coverage. Second and 10 from the 32. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott fades back to pass. Medium out pass. Prescott completes the pass to Wilson. Gain of 10. Reed on the tackle. 3rd and inches from the 22. Motion. 7 play 48-yard drive. 3:10 off the clock. Prescott gives to Hunt. Hunt on the carry, no gain, Byard with the tackle, first down. Prescott gives to Hunt. Hunt with the carry, no gain, Cashman on the tackle. Second and 10. Prescott from the pistol. 9 play 48-yard drive. They've used 4:32 on the clock. Prescott with a quick drop. Short hitch to Otten. Prescott throws incomplete to Otten, Bryant on the coverage. Third and 10 from the 22. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott sets to throw. Short cross to Slayton. Prescott with the pass to Slayton, incomplete. "40-yard kick for Koo. The snap from Williams. Koo is good from 40, Pittsburgh 10, Los Angeles 3. Koo with the kick. First and 10. Akane with the handoff. Akane with a 4-yard run. Turn. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 79. 10-yard penalty.
Mahomes in a pistol formation. Fades back to pass. He checks down to Flowers. Mahomes to Flowers, no gain, Igbinoghene on the tackle. Mahomes from the pistol. Prevent defense. Mahomes takes a deep drop. Short sideline pass to Iosivas. Mahomes completes the pass to Iosivas, 47-yard gain, Lake on the tackle, first down. The handoff to Akane. Akane with a gain of 8 on the play, Fulton on the tackle. Mahomes gives to Akane. Akane on the carry, gain of 8, Turner on the tackle, first down. Penalty on the play.
False start. Offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Pistol formation. Mahomes drops back to pass. Throws to Akane's back shoulder. Mahomes to Akane, gain of 7, Newbin on the tackle. Pittsburgh by 7. 2nd and 8 at the 20. 3:30 to go in the first. Mahomes from the pistol. Fades back to pass. He checks down to Ertz. Mahomes completes the pass to Ertz, gain of 7, Lake on the tackle. Third and 1 at the 13. Man in motion. Mahomes at the line. Ford with the handoff. Ford on the carry, gain of 1, Turner with the tackle, first down. Pittsburgh up 7. 1st and 10. 1:58 in the first. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes at the line. Mahomes with 3-step drop. Short out pass to Flowers. Mahomes passes to Flowers, incomplete, Igbenoghen on the coverage. Second and 10. Mahomes from the pistol. Los Angeles showing blitz. Mahomes calling an audible. 8-play 73-yard drive. They've used 5:05 on the clock. Mahomes on the draw. Mahomes on the draw, no gain, Jones on the tackle. Third and 10 from the 12. Trips left. Pistol formation. Mahomes at the line. He sets to throw. Short cross to Flowers. Mahomes completes the pass to Flowers, gain of 6, Igbenoghen on the tackle. A 24-yard kick for Richard. Fox to hold. Shelton with the snap. Richard is good from 24, Pittsburgh 13, Los Angeles 3. Richard with the kick. Pittsburgh faking blitz. Prescott calling an audible. Takes a 5-step drop. Long fly. Prescott to Wilson, incomplete, read on the coverage. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott drops back to pass. Short out pass to Vele. Prescott completes the pass to Vele, gain of 8, Job on the tackle. End of the first quarter, Pittsburgh 13, Los Angeles 3. Third and 2. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott at the line. He sets to throw. Short out. Prescott passes to Wilson, in penalty on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 63. 10-yard penalty.
Anger back in punt formation. "49-yard punt by Anger, return of 11 by Williams." Pittsburgh by 10. First and 10 from the 29. Mahomes with a short drop. Short outside pass to Iosivas. Mahomes passes to Iosivas, gain of 6, Lake on the tackle. Kane with the handoff. Kane with the carry, gain of 13, Jones with the tackle, first down. Mahomes gives to Kane. Kane on the carry, loss of 1, Jones on the tackle. Second and 11. Mahomes from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Short curl to Harrison. Mahomes to Harrison, 8-yard gain, Fulton on the tackle. Third and 3. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes at the line. Fades back to pass. Medium into Williams. Mahomes passes to Williams, gain of 6, curl on the tackle, first down. Mahomes fades back to pass. Medium into Flowers. Mahomes completes the pass to Flowers, gain of 11, Igbinoghene on the tackle, first down. Motion. Akane with the handoff. Big hole. 25-yard run by Akane, Lake with the tackle, first down. First and goal at the 3. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes calling signals. Fades back to pass. Mahomes throws to Flowers. Mahomes passes to Flowers, touchdown Pittsburgh. Richard will try the point after. The kick by Richard is good. Pittsburgh 20, Los Angeles 3. Here's the kick from Richard. Prescott fades back to pass. Medium out to Slayton. Prescott passes to Slayton, incomplete, Womack on the coverage. Penalty on the play.
False start. Offense. Number 17, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Pistol formation. Prescott at the line. Drops back to pass. Prescott throws downfield to Hunt. Prescott is intercepted by Womack, return of 7. Man in motion. Ford with the handoff. Ford on the carry, gain of 4, Jones on the tackle. Akane with the transfer. Akane on the sweep, gain of 6, Hunter on the stop, first down. Pittsburgh up 17. Vidal takes the handoff. Vidal on the sweep, gain of 7, Jones on the tackle. Second and 3 from the 11. Mahomes fades back to pass. Medium out to Flowers. Mahomes throws incomplete to Flowers, Igbenoghen on the coverage. Third and 3 from the 11. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes sets up in the pocket. Short slant to Flowers. Mahomes with the pass to Flowers, incomplete. "29-yard attempt for Richard. Fox to hold. Good snap from center. Shelton with the snap. Richard connects from 29 yards, Pittsburgh 23, Los Angeles 3. Richard to kick off. Flag on the play.
Encroachment, defense. Number 41, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Prescott fades back to pass. Medium cross to Vele. Fumble. Prescott completes the pass to Vele, gain of 12, fumble recovered by Vele, Los Angeles maintains possession. The handoff to Mason. Mason with a gain of 3 on the play, Hines Allen on the tackle. Second and 7 from the 45. Prescott barks out the signals. Hunt with the handoff. Hunt on the carry, gain of 8, Joe with the tackle, first down. Prescott gives to Hunt. Hunt with the carry, gain of 3, Hines Allen on the tackle. Second and 7. Prescott from the pistol. Prescott calls out the signals. Fades back to pass. Prescott dumps it to Vele. Prescott passes to Vele, incomplete, Joe on the coverage. 3rd and 7 from the 44. 3:46 left in the second. Pistol formation. Prescott fades back to pass. Short out pass to Wilson. Prescott completes the pass to Wilson, gain of 6, Jobe with the tackle. Fourth and 1. Man in motion. Pittsburgh showing blitz. Reed up in the box. Mason takes the handoff. 1-yard run by Mason, Robinson on the tackle, first down. Wilson calling an audible. Wilson fades back to pass. Wilson will run. Wilson the ball carrier, gain of 9, Bryant on the tackle. They send a man in motion. Transfers control to Mason. Mason with the carry, 2-yard gain, Okereke on the stop, first down. Two-minute warning. Pistol formation. Wilson sets to throw. Short hitch to Wilson. Wilson passes to Wilson, gain a penalty on the play.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 29, 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
First and goal from the 10. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson at the line. Running right. Hunt the ball carrier, no gain, Hines Allen on the tackle. Second and goal from the 10. Pistol formation. Pittsburgh showing blitz. Wilson changing the play. He fades back to pass. Medium slant to Wilson. Wilson to Wilson, incomplete, Reed on the coverage. Third and goal at the 10. Wilson from the pistol. Current drive, 13 plays, 60 yards. 5:32 off the clock. Wilson back to pass. He throws to DeGuerra. Wilson throws incomplete to DeGuerra. "28-yard attempt for Koo. Anger to hold. Good snap. The snap from Williams. Koo is good from 28 yards, Pittsburgh 23, Los Angeles 6. The kick from Koo is downed by Ford. Ertz out wide. Mahomes from the pistol. Takes a 3-step drop. Short out to Ertz. Mahomes to Ertz, gain of 4, Lake on the stop. Second and 6. Pistol formation. Mahomes with a short drop. Short outside pass to Williams. Mahomes throws incomplete to Williams, curl on the coverage. Third and 6 at the 29. Pistol formation. Takes a 5-step drop. Mahomes is sacked by Turner, loss of 3. Fox to punt. "57-yard punt by Fox, fair catch by Berrios. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson drops back to pass. Short out to Vele. Wilson to Vele, gain of 7, Job on the tackle. Los Angeles trailing by 17. Pistol formation. Wilson calling the signals. Wilson fades back to pass. Short out pass to Wilson. Wilson completes the pass to Wilson, gain of 4, Reed on the tackle, first down. Pistol formation. They send a man in motion. Wilson calls out the signals. He fades back to pass. Medium out to Wilson. Wilson to Wilson, gain of 5, Reed with the tackle. 2nd and 5. Pistol formation. Wilson calls out the signals. Wilson drops back to pass. Wilson throws underneath to Freiermuth. Wilson completes the pass to Freiermuth, gain of 4, Bryant on the tackle. Third and 1. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson calling signals. Wilson fades back to pass. Short cross to Slayton. Wilson passes to Slayton, gain of 12, Hoyer with the tackle, first down. Timeout, Los Angeles. Pistol formation. Wilson sets up in the pocket. Short out pass. Wilson completes the pass to Vele, gain of 3, Job with the tackle. Timeout, Los Angeles. Second and 7 from the 48. 0:03 in the second. Wilson from the pistol. Drops back to pass. He airs it out. Wilson to Wilson, incomplete, read on the coverage, end of the first half, Pittsburgh 23, Los Angeles 6. Who boots it? Los Angeles faking blitz. Mahomes calling an audible. Mahomes fades back to pass. Mahomes is running. Mahomes on the carry, gain of 10, Tabe on the tackle, first down. Mahomes fades back to pass. Medium outside pass to Harrison. Mahomes passes to Harrison, gain of 14, Fulton on the tackle, first down. Pittsburgh by 17. Mahomes calls out the signals. Running left. A cane on the pitch, no gain, Lake on the tackle. Second and 10. Mahomes from the pistol. Mahomes sets to throw. Short slant to Flowers. Mahomes throws incomplete to Flowers, Igbinoghene with the coverage. Third and 10 from the 49. Pistol formation. Mahomes barks out the signals. Mahomes sets up in the pocket. Mahomes is sacked by one defender, loss of 6. Fox deep in punt formation. A 37-yard punt by Fox, out of bounds. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson with a short drop. Short outside pass to Otten. Wilson completes the pass to Otten, gain of 7, Bryant with the tackle. Wilson from the pistol. Sets to throw. Wilson checks down to Slayton. Wilson passes to Slayton, gain of 4, Womack on the tackle, first down. First and 10 at the 31. The give to Hunt. Hunt lost 1 on the play, Jones 2 on the tackle. Second and 11 from the 30. Wilson from the pistol. Pittsburgh faking blitz. Wilson changing the play. Quarterback draw. Wilson on the draw, no gain, Robinson on the tackle. Third and 11 from the 30. Wilson in a pistol formation. Wilson at the line. Takes a short drop. Short hitch. Wilson to Wilson, incomplete.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 3, 10-yard penalty, loss of down.
Anger from punt formation. A 47-yard punt by Anger, return of 14 by Williams. First and 10. Sends a man in motion. Akane with the handoff. Akane on the carry, 11-yard gain. Tabe with the tackle, first down. Mahomes gives to Akane. Room to run. Akane on the carry, 17-yard gain. Jones on the tackle, first down. Pittsburgh by 17. Mahomes drops back to pass. Short out to Harrison. Mahomes throws incomplete to Harrison, penalty on the play.
Offsides, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty.
First and 5 at the 20. Ford with the handoff. Ford with the carry, gain of 5, Werner on the tackle, first down. Mahomes pitches right to Ford. Ford the ball carrier, 7-yard gain, Lake on the tackle. Second and 3 from the 8. Mahomes from the pistol. Takes a quick drop. Short outside pass to Harrison. Mahomes completes the pass to Harrison, touchdown Pittsburgh. Richard will try the point after. The kick by Richard is good. Pittsburgh 30, Los Angeles 6. Richard boots it. Pistol formation. Wilson fades back to pass. Medium out pass to Vele. Wilson with the pass to Vele, incomplete, Job on the coverage. Second and 10 from the 25. Pistol formation. Draw to Mason. 3-yard run by Mason, Cashman on the tackle. 3rd and 7. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson barks out the signals. Wilson drops back to pass. Medium crossing pattern. Wilson passes to Wilson, gain of 12, Reed with the tackle, first down. Some movement up front. Hunt with the handoff. Hunt the ball carrier, 1-yard gain, penalty on the play.
Encroachment defense. Number 94, 5-yard penalty.
The give to Hunt. Hunt on the sweep, no gain, Hines Allen with the tackle. Los Angeles trailing by 24. Wilson from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Medium crossing pattern to Slayton. Wilson passes to Slayton, gain a penalty flag.
Holding. Offense. Number 63, 10-yard penalty.
DeGuerra out wide. Wilson from the pistol. He fades back to pass. He passes to Wilson. Wilson passes to Wilson, gain of 4, Reed with the tackle. Los Angeles breaks the huddle. 3rd and 11 at the 39. Pistol formation. Wilson drops back to pass. Short slant to Slayton. Wilson passes to Slayton, gain, penalty on the play.
Holding. Offense. Number 74, 10-yard penalty.
Fourth and 5 from the 45. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson barks out the signals. Wilson sets up in the pocket. Short cross to Wilson. Wilson completes the pass to Wilson, gain of 8, Reed on the stop, first down. First and 10. Man in motion. Wilson gives to Hunt. 1-yard gain by Hunt, Byard on the tackle. Los Angeles trailing by 24. 2nd and 9 from the 46. Wilson from the pistol. Drops back to pass. Wilson dumps it to Hunt. Wilson completes the pass to Hunt, gain of 3, Smith on the tackle. Los Angeles trailing by 24. 3rd and 6. Wilson from the pistol. Fades back to pass. Wilson is sacked by Wharton, loss of 3. End of the 3rd quarter, Pittsburgh 30, Los Angeles 6.
This telecast is copyrighted by the WFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions or accounts of the game without the WFL's consent is prohibited.
Anger from punt formation. Williams waiting inside his own 10. "44-yard punt by Anger, no return. First and 10. Mahomes gives to a Kane. A Kane on the carry, 6-yard gain, Jones on the tackle. Pittsburgh by 24. The handoff to Ford. Ford with a gain of 3 on the play, Jones with the tackle. Third and 1 from the 11. Man in motion. Mahomes barks out the signals. Mahomes gives to Ford. Ford the ball carrier, no gain, Hunter on the tackle. Fox back in punt formation. From his own end zone. A 47-yard punt by Fox, return of 14 by Berrios. Wilson at the line. Wilson fades back to pass. Wilson passes to Hunt. Wilson to Hunt, incomplete, Cashman on the coverage. Second and 10. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson barks out the signals. Wilson fades back to pass. Wilson will run. Wilson on the carry, 8-yard gain, Bryant with the tackle. Third and 2 from the 36. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson sets up in the pocket. False. Wilson on the carry, gain of 5, Byard on the tackle, first down. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson faces a double at the line. Wilson barks out the signals. Wilson fades deep in the pocket. False. 10-yard gain by Wilson, Byard with the tackle. Man in motion. The hand off to Hunt. Hunt the ball carrier, gain of 4, Reed on the tackle, first down. Hand off to Edwards-Helaire. 6-yard run by Edwards-Helaire, Cashman on the tackle.
So a group of soldiers backed each other. Today, we're still serving the military and their families with those same values our founders shared.
Second and 4 from the 11. Wilson gives to Hunt. Hunt the ball carrier, loss of 1, Hines Allen on the tackle. Third and 5 at the 12. DeGuerra split wide. Pistol formation. Wilson fades back to pass. False. Wilson the ball carrier, touchdown Los Angeles. The conversion failed, Pittsburgh 30, Los Angeles 12. Here's the kick from Coop. Man in motion. Mahomes hands to Kane. Kane on the carry, loss of 1, Jones with the tackle. Pittsburgh by 18. 2nd and 11 from the 24. Kane with the handoff. Kane lost 2 on the play, Werner on the stop. Pittsburgh breaks the huddle. 3rd and 13 from the 22. Pistol formation. Mahomes drops back to pass. Short in. Mahomes completes the pass to Iosivas, gain of 7, Neuvin with the tackle. Fox back in punt formation. A 51-yard punt by Fox, fair catch by Berrios. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson calling signals. Wilson sets up in the pocket. Wilson will run. Wilson with the carry, gain of 9, Byard on the tackle. Second and 1 from the 29. Los Angeles hustling to the line. No huddle offense. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson calls out the signals. Wilson drops back to pass. Medium slant to Wilson. Wilson completes the pass to Wilson, 10-yard gain, Reed with the tackle, first down. DeGuerra split outside. Los Angeles hustling to the line. No huddle. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson with a quick drop. Short cross to DeGuerra. Wilson to DeGuerra, gain of 5, Robinson on the stop. DeGuerra out wide. Los Angeles in a hurry up. Los Angeles going without a huddle. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson calls out the signals. Wilson drops back to pass. Short cross. Wilson completes the pass to DeGuerra, 5-yard gain, Smith with the tackle, first down.
Ruling on the field stands. A timeout will be charged.
Pistol formation. Wilson drops back to pass. Wilson dumps it to Robinson the second. Wilson completes the pass to Robinson the second, gain of 7, Womack on the tackle. Los Angeles hustling to the line. No huddle offense. Wilson in a pistol formation. Wilson fades back to pass. Wilson is sacked by Hines Allen, loss of 5. Third and 8 at the 49. Los Angeles hustling to the line. Working without a huddle. Pistol formation. Wilson calls out the signals. Fades back to pass. Wilson passes to Vele. Wilson completes the pass to Vele, 4-yard gain, Job on the tackle. Fourth and 4. Pistol formation. Wilson sets up in the pocket. Medium slant to Vele. Wilson completes the pass to Vele, 10-yard gain, Job on the tackle, first down. Los Angeles in a hurry up. Los Angeles going without a huddle. Wilson from the pistol. He fades back to pass. Long hitch. Wilson passes to Vele, incomplete,
Pass
Job on the coverage.
Defense, number 29, automatic, first down.
Wilson from the pistol. Takes a quick drop. Short sideline pass to Wilson. Wilson completes the pass to Wilson, gain of 8, Reed on the tackle. Los Angeles trailing by 18. Second and 2 from the 11. 3:37 in the fourth. Wilson from the pistol. The snap is fumbled. Fumble. Wilson lost 3 on the play, fumble recovered by Jones. Los Angeles maintains possession. Third and 5 at the 14. Los Angeles in a hurry up. Los Angeles going without a huddle. Wilson from the pistol. 11 play 66-yard drive. 2:44 off the clock. Wilson sets to throw. Wilson throws to Freiermuth. Wilson to Freiermuth, gain of 5, Bryant on the tackle, first down.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the first down. No timeout will be charged.
Fourth and inches from the 9. Man in motion. And off to Hunt. 2-yard gain by Hunt, Okereke on the stop, first down. Los Angeles trailing by 18. Wilson from the pistol. Otten is doubled at the line. 13 play 73-yard drive. 3:40 off the clock. Wilson with a short drop. Short hitch to Otten. Wilson throws incomplete to Otten. Bryant with the coverage. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson with a short drop. Short curl to Vele. Wilson throws incomplete to Vele. Jobe on the coverage. Wildcats trailing by 18. 3rd and goal. 2:16 in the 4th. Wilson from the pistol. Wilson with a short drop. Throws to Robinson, I's back shoulder. Wilson with the pass to Robinson the second, incomplete. Womack on the coverage. Fourth and goal from the 7. Wilson from the pistol. Takes a short drop. Short sideline pass. Wilson throws incomplete to Wilson. Mahomes calls out the signals. Hand off to Akane. Akane on the carry, gain of 6, Van Ginkel on the tackle. Two-minute warning. Man in motion. Mahomes hands to Akane. Akane on the carry, no gain. Lake on the tackle. Pittsburgh by 18. 3rd and 4. 1:13 left in the game. Slow down offense. Mahomes hands to Akane. Akane on the carry, no gain. Van Ginkel on the stop. Timeout, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 30, Los Angeles 12. Fox will punt. 52-yard punt by Fox, return of 11 by Barrios. Wilson will take a knee. Pittsburgh 30, Los Angeles 12.